expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, this is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. God bless you. Thank you for your time. Today's Bible study. Pastor suicides starting to increase in America. We can stop it, though. Hey, would you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? This is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio again with another very unusual radio program. I'll do some announcements. You make the call. Thank you for supporting the ministry. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. I entered my 38th year as a professional counselor here in Maricopa County last November. And I've been here in the ministry on the radio for 16 years. I'll be starting my 17th year in February. And thank you for all my faithful listeners and donors. Say on the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, we have all of our ministry services. We have a brand new ministry. I need to announce it today. Every Thursday night at 7 p.m., we have our healing rooms. And also, we have added a ministry on Thursday nights. If you know a born-again Christian who's struggling with mental illness, we have a mental illness healing class at 7 p.m. every Thursday night. It's in Sanctuary A. Just come in the front door, go into Sanctuary A and have a seat, and we will minister to you from there. All right. Our regular healing rooms are Thursday night at 7 o'clock. When you come in the front, it's in the small sanctuary and in Sanctuary B. All right. Check with Lori at the front desk to find out which area you should be in. We're looking for, we had our first SMI mental illness class last week and had, I believe, 8 or 10 people there in the first session. So if you know a born-again Christian who's mentally ill, who needs to be healed, you have the opportunity now to see them recover. May God richly bless you. While you're at the website, you can sign up for another free seminar, check out some radio archives. You can send us another donation on our PayPal page. You can check out Sister Karen on the homepage of the website. She loves to work with born-again Christians, listing your home for sale. And thank you for your wonderful referrals last year. Pastor suicide, another one has hit us. Jim Howard, quote, a megachurch pastor based in California took his life last week after a long battle with mental illness. Jim Howard was the Valencia campus pastor of Real Life Church. It is with a heavy heart that I can confirm we suffered a tragic loss of our church staff this week. On Wednesday, Jim Howard, a beloved pastor here, took his own life. And the article goes on to reveal several things that I already know and have experienced several times over the years. In the article, they go on to mention what kind of a minister Jim Howard was. And he was a wonderful minister. He was a high energy, high octane type servant of God. And he was a wonderful family man. The number of people that were blessed in his ministry at this church were numbered in the who knows how many. But unfortunately, apparently he was suffering from bipolar. He had talked about his mental illness in some of his sermons, discussing it, but in private, apparently his pain and suffering was much worse than anybody knew, including his family, including the ministry staff, and he killed himself at his home just recently, unfortunately. This is a, unfortunately, common trend now. For example, Steve Austin attempted suicide in 2012. He wrote a book, From Pastor to Psych Ward. Recovery from a suicide attempt is possible. And he wrote this book and went into a long history of the pain and the things that he suffered from being seriously mentally ill. Um, he would have extreme variances of emotion, uh, heavy duty highs, and horrible lows. He was committed to a psych ward. He goes on to explain it in his book. And he said that the reason he didn't get any help was that people were prejudiced against people that have mental illness. And that most people, some people blamed mental illness on a person having a lack of faith or demonic possession. Okay, neither of those are true. That's not the root cause of mental illness. Born again Christians cannot be possessed by demons. That's impossible, because in the spirit man resides the Holy Spirit, and the demons can't get into the spirit man. However, Christians can be infected with demons, and the demons can get inside the body or the brain, causing a physical or mental illness. So when a Christian is infected with demons, as Ron Howard was, okay, as Steve Austin was, they are attacked internally by the spirits, and they are attacked externally, and we call that demonic oppression. Because the church doesn't understand this, these two gentlemen never got cured. Steve Austin survived his suicide attempts, but he's still not cured. He's still struggling with mental illness. If anybody knows the guy, we should tell him that Brother Mike mentioned him on the radio and would be happy to help him, because God showed me the cure for mental illness. In fact, I wrote a book on it. You can pick it up at the bookstore at the Arizona Deliverance Center, called Plan of Spirits, the root cause and cure of mental illness. Not too long ago, August of last year, Andrew Stocklein, the pastor of another California megachurch in Indian Hills, California, committed suicide. And he had returned from preaching 2 Sundays before, following a 4-month involuntary sabbatical to address mental health concerns. And before a packed church he seemingly re-energized. He was only 30 years old. And he went through detailing his battle with clinical depression and panic attacks. And he had several life events that triggered his mental illness. Now listen to this. This is very important, because this is how spirits work. They take advantage of disasters that they themselves cause. His father died in 2015. He was a victim of stalking shortly after that. After that, he also developed health problems. And the stress of being a megachurch pastor became insurmountable. And this is how these spirits work. Now, you would think megachurch pastors would be super Christians. I mean, on paper, they have to be super Christians just to get those jobs. Those jobs are pretty darn good jobs. They got all kinds of perks, all kinds of benefits, and big fat salaries. On paper, you would assume that the megachurch pastors would be riding high, but actually, I've counseled them before. They're under tremendous pressure to perform. They're under tremendous pressure for competition for parishioners. And the stress of that job is incredible. I've had megachurch pastors come to me for counseling, and of course we keep it all 100% confidential. But you wouldn't believe the horror stories these guys have told me about the pressure they're under, the people that expectations of them that never end. And so when the devil causes a series of disasters in your life, these spirits can enter your body usually through trauma, abuse, and stress. And that's exactly what happened to Andrew Stocklein in California. And that directly led to his suicide. All these megachurch pastors and other born-again Christians that have mental illness always have fear spirits. They always have spirits of fear. The spirits of fear are the devil's controllers. They're the ones that manipulate the person's emotions, and they're the monster behind bipolar, causing the severe emotional swings. Now, these three megachurch pastors, they were beautiful people. They were good people. They were powerful men of God, all three of them. One of them survived. The other two are dead. If you are not a megachurch pastor and you fit the description I just said, you don't have to be a megachurch pastor, believe me, to commit suicide. Oh, far from it. You are eligible for free counseling services and healing at the Arizona Deliverance Center, 602-636-5800. Friday night, I teach and have an altar call for prayer. I'd recommend you come to it. Thursday nights is our healing room and our mental illness class for Christians who fit this category. If you have been thinking about committing suicide, if you have a mental illness, a severe anxiety disorder, severe clinical depression, you know someone who's a Christian who has schizophrenia or bipolar, Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, Sanctuary A, and you can start your recovery and your inner healing and your complete deliverance from these spirits that cause mental illness. Spirits get in during periods of trauma or abuse or high periods of stress. These suicide pastors, because they don't do deliverance in their church, had no way to fight this thing, and they had no way to be cured. Deliverance is the only method provided by God for someone to be cured of these serious mental illnesses. Deliverance is God's method for you to be free. And those methods are available Thursday and Friday night at the Arizona Deliverance Center, or you can call for a counseling appointment, 602-636-5800. May God bless you all.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.